Here in Florida, there is a man who stalks vast swamplands, patrols every backyard, and stands watch over the beaches. Whether his hunt is for mammal, reptile, or human foe, he uses one brand of weapon. A name born in the humble cradle of Cocoa, Florida, and forged in the humid swamps of the Everglades. Today, we take a rare glimpse into the life of the most Florida man in the world and discover why his choice of firearms is so rudimentary. Today, we meet Carl Hungus.
Welcome back to Pew Pew Media. I'm joined today by a real Florida man, Carl Hungus.
How you doing?
Thanks for taking the time to sit with us, Carl.
My pleasure.
Why don't you tell the folks a little bit about yourself and what it's like to be a Florida man with a Keltec?
It's not an easy job. I was born in this swamp by an alligator, and I love my Keltec. She provides food when I slap them gators with it because she doesn't fire all the time. But when she shoots, she's on point. I've lived in the Florida swamps for 41 years. Mm-hmm. 2 of those I was on parole. Yeah, I'm here to party and shoot guns.
Awesome. Awesome. Again, thanks for taking the time. So, got a couple questions here. We'd just like to go down and ask you about, what it's like being a Florida man with a Keltec. See what you think.
The Keltec is, I'm sort of a fan of Keltec. I really like the sub 2K, as you could see in the 40 caliber. Not a 9mm. Sometimes you got to have more pushing for the cushion, you know what I'm saying? The 40 caliber option.
Dear God. So you described the sub 2K as foldable freedom. Do you mean the gun or your parole officer's patience?
Is this a B, C? Because if there's a C for both, I would like to take
all
that
the above.
All of the above.
All the above. Okay. Okay. At what point did you realize the Keltec sub 2K was your soulmate?
Probably when I was deep in the woods, somewhere close to NASA, barefoot in the swamp, rolled up on a pack of hogs, barreled down on one, pulled the trigger, missed, pulled the trigger again, it jammed, so I beat the hell out of that hog with the end of my Keltec.
Just slapped him.
Bludgeoned.
Bludgeoned. That's a big word. It's a big word for
bludgeoned.
That's a good one.
It's my 3rd grade vocabulary.
You ever made eye contact with a meth gator and lived to tell about it?
A meth gator?
Yeah. I hear that's a problem down here. Meth, gators, both. Meth gators.
You know, meth gators I never really ran into, but I imagine they'd be very ornery.
So speaking of Florida animals, if you had to choose to fight one Florida animal,
yes,
what would it be, and why is it always a raccoon?
It's not necessarily a raccoon.
Trash panda.
Trash panda, the convict of the garbage, is the Florida swamp ape an option, because I believe that's a pinnacle of being Florida
ape?
man. Skunk ape.
Skunk ape, I believe, yeah.
Hand-to-hand combat.
Hand-to-hand.
Hand-to-hand.
Okay.
The only Florida way.
So speaking of hand-to-hand and combat, how many close calls has your sub 2000 gotten you out of at Waffle House at 2 a.m.?
2 or 3, because they didn't know any better. I showed one guy in the parking lot and he laughed at me, and then I got punched in the mouth. And that was that.
That's that, okay.
They didn't put enough syrup on my fucking eggs.
Syrup on your eggs?
Yes.
Okay.
The hush puppies weren't hush.
So let's quickly talk about how it performs. Some would say it might need a blue pill. What would you say about its performance?
Performance is, when she runs good. until she doesn't. Could be 5 shots, could be 7, could be 15, and then it jams on you.
It's a quintessential box of chocolates.
It is absolutely.
You never know what you're gonna get.
You never know what you're gonna get.
All right, you need a cigarette. Easy, big guy. Yeah. Now let's talk about recoil. Some folks have said it slaps so hard you need a restraining order. What are your thoughts?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
By my first cousin. You got to put
Not
that.
Even your second.
Not even the second.
Straight to first. Okay.
Straight to the first. Definitely slaps hard, bruises your shoulder without mitigation.
So with the Keltec and you running around late at night, how many times has alcohol may have been involved appeared in reports about you?
I mean, you've seen the titles in the newspaper. Florida man under the influence does some crazy things. I'm not going to say that was me, but I'm not going to say it wasn't.
What would you say to critics about the appearance of the Sub 2000? If you were challenged on it, would you show them your tribal tattoo first or just start blaring Lynyrd Skynyrd?
Oh, Lynyrd Skynyrd all day long. Because this thing is all about the Screaming Eagles. It's all about pulling the trigger and just letting her fly. Red, white, and blue.
America.
America.
Okay.
She screams America.
She screams America. It's that foldable freedom.
Foldable freedom.
Yeah.
Absolutely foldable freedom.
Yeah.
With the mullet and the American flag. My cutoff shorts.
Speaking of mullets, this thing could be related to a mullet, you know, with its business versus party. In this style, with it unfolded, is it now in business mode or party mode?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. Okay.
A little bit of both. Business in, party in, common crack in between for that 50-50 split.
If you had to endorse another firearm from Keltec and it wasn't the Sub 2K, what would Florida man choose?
Bullpup.
Bullpup. Okay.
Or the KSG.
Yeah.
Either one of those are acceptable options.
But Keltec.
Sub 2K Keltec.
Sub 2K Keltec.
Sub 2K Keltec. Bullpup. KSG.
All right. So what's more important to you? Accuracy, capacity, or the ability to whip it open like a butterfly knife at your cousin's 4th of July wedding?
Oh, definitely. Definitely whipping it open like a butterfly knife at your cousin's wedding. Lets them all know that you're there for business, but yet you like to party.
With the mullets.
With the mullets. Shotgun a beer, grab the Keltec kind of thing. You know, kiss your first cousin. That's, you know.
If Keltec was a beer, what would it be?
Natty Light.
Natty Light, okay.
Natty Light.
Okay. Would you rather fight one angry meth gator or try to explain how the Sub 2K's iron sights actually work to your cousin Daryl after 6'4" locos?
Ooh, I'm definitely going with the alligator.
It's probably easier.
Daryl doesn't have much common sense to him.
Is he also a hungus?
He's also a hungus.
Daryl Hungus?
Daryl Hungus. The third, actually. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a lot of hunguses. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Carl Hungus, Florida man, with his Keltec. Is that your parole officer?
Yes.
Okay.
As we say goodbye to you, Florida man, and your love of economically priced and somehow innovative pew-pew sticks, we appreciate you opening the door to your double-wide world of Keltec. You've shown us a world rarely seen by many, unless you're watching Cops at 3 a.m. with your pet trash panda and ankle monitor. Remember to click like and subscribe for more Florida Man, for more Carl Hungus